It is Monday, March 13th, 2023 at 12 noon Eastern Time, USA. This is my video journal. I'm Mitch Miller, and this segment is dedicated to the residents of Ireland and the residents of East Palestine in the vicinity of the train derailment here in the United States. We went near East Palestine to camp in a getaway cabin, as we do have for the past 4 years. Pump some money into the local economy, things like that. So, and we had our first campfire of the year. So, because it's St. Patrick's Day this week, in honor of Ireland, I used part of the Irish Times that my wife got me while she was over there to start our first campfire of the season. Hopefully it's good luck of the Irish. I'm going to talk about a water testing program that I think we should develop for East Palestine and any households around hydraulic fracturing, gas well sites, or any other type situation like that. But first I want to talk about a protocol. You know me, I'm always developing protocols and programs. So for a long time on my Invisible page on my website, I put up a oath that I read out of a historical book for Treasury agents. Because delusionally I thought I was on some wavelength with Treasury agents for a while, otherwise known as Secret Service agents. So what I propose here is that I said Treasury agents don't gamble. They don't play the lottery. I have been playing the lottery the past several months, but I hadn't previously. And then I do scan my grandpa's tickets on my lottery app on my phone. I developed a new strategy for playing the lottery, the Powerball and the Mega Millions. Those have 5 numbers plus a Mega Ball number or a Powerball number. So the numbers from the movie The Squeeze with Michael Keaton that I watched on over the air the other day, I took down those numbers in the order they come up. It's about a group of people rigging the lottery using an electromagnet. So the numbers in that are 25, 32, 8, 13, 39, and 3 in that order. So I use those 5 numbers, and then 3 is the Mega Ball number or the Powerball number. So if you put those in order, it's 8, 13, 25, 32, 39, and 3 is your Mega number or Powerball number. So what I propose here is, if you're a Treasury agent, to give the supercomputers reference points and to allow them to show us if the lottery is being rigged. Every Treasury agent uses those numbers, buys one ticket at random every once in a while, or every 3 times a week for the Powerball and twice a week for the Mega Ball. Could be any range of that. You might buy a number occasionally, you might buy it on a regular basis. All Treasury agents use that set of numbers. If 100 or 1,000 Treasury agents all hit on the same number, we know that somebody rigged the lottery. We give the money back, or we argue that we use a number from a movie about rigging the lottery and that we should be able to keep the money. I don't know how that's going to work. The point is, these numbers popping up, you can download a lottery, like the Pennsylvania Lottery app on your phone, and you can scan the QR codes on those tickets to see if they're a winner. So my theory is, we have these Treasury agents' phones. We're proving that the state lottery app doesn't track people, doesn't spy on people, and it gives, every time you scan that number on your phone, it gives the supercomputers a reference point for Treasury agents. It's not like they're going to know who they're protecting, who their duties are, how they work within the Treasury Department, but it's just a thought process for a protocol that I'm proposing. You might not have any other apps on your phone. Obviously, you're not allowed to have the TikTok app, but your home state's lottery app, it's a government app, and we can keep it on the up and up and ping certain reference points on our phones by buying that same number lottery ticket. So what I want to talk about, East Palestine, obviously there was a huge train derailment. They burned off a bunch of chemicals. It was in the air. It blew into Pennsylvania. We saw the clouds on the Doppler radar of our weather channel. The radar showed the clouds blowing into Pennsylvania. So it's a Pennsylvania issue. It's an Ohio issue. I intend to write a letter to Senator Fetterman about this proposal on St. Patrick's Day this Friday. Excuse me, I might have to sneeze here. Oh boy, sorry. Anyhow, so I intend to write a letter, but the proposal is this, right? We have all this technology. We had someone that was going to say we could test just a drop of blood for all kinds of different things, and people believe that, and that is nearly impossible. But how do we have all this technology, but we don't have a continuous testing system for household water, right? Well water that's coming up into the household. How do we not have we have water softening devices, we have all these filtration devices. How do we not have a simple, not a simple, but a complex digital testing device that when the water's running, it tests at different times throughout the day while the water is running? Maybe there's a cartridge you have to put in there and take out and put into another device or something, or a cartridge you have to put in multiple every day or every other day or every week. But how do we not have this technology, right? Well, because companies would be held responsible for ruining people's groundwater, so they're not investing in this technology. That's why the government should invest in the technology, or contract with someone to develop the technology. Right, so I guess my point is this: if there was a way to pinpoint a gold seam touching the water table by continuously testing the households around that water table, we would have developed this technology, right? If we could find gold or oil or gas, there would be a testing system, a continuous testing system that you could put into the already drilled wells of each household to pinpoint that mineral resource. But because it means we would hold companies that do mineral resource extractions more accountable, this technology has not been developed, or maybe it has, it's just not widespread. So what I'm proposing here is the Clean Water Table Act, and I don't know how it will be written, but it's geared around East Palestine and companies that use hydraulic fracturing, mining companies. If they are engaging in these activities within a certain radius to be determined by the government, any household close to that new well site or that derailment or that oil spill, that oil pipeline spill, they get these water testing systems installed in their house, paid for by the company. Test multiple times a day, while you're taking a shower, while you're running the laundry, and it has an alert on it if something seeps into your well water, some chemical that we're looking for. And these tests could be customized to look for hydraulic fracturing chemicals, more geared towards that, or the chemicals burn off in East Palestine. So it should be feasible to develop this technology for water testing. it sets off an alert. You can stop taking a shower, you can stop running your laundry, stop drinking the water, obviously, and we can bring in a better test to see what's going on with your well water. But it tests for when it's raining and these chemicals do seep into your well, not just one test every week when it's dry out and there's nothing new running into the well. So the companies pay to install this as a precaution when they're extracting minerals, right? So if these hydraulic fracturing companies are adhering to all the safety measures, they're on the up and up, and they don't want to ruin people's water, so they should be okay with this new act, just to double check that the water's not getting ruined. If somebody's well water is compromised, the company that drilled the well, that may have compromised the well, the water well, must pay to relocate that family to a new household outside of that range of affected area. Hypothetically, we could proactively reach out to the homeowner to get a property value assessment of their property before the well goes in, and they could be compensated, or they would have to be relocated to a house of equal value as to the house they lived in before the drilling started for the hydraulic fracturing, or before the oil spill, or before the trail derailment. Right? It's a simple concept. You make a mess, you clean it up, you make right the people who are affected by it. It's simple. We don't need a bunch of new regulation. We don't need a bunch of crazy compensation packages. It is new regulation, but it's regulation that makes sense. It's not a tax. It's not more and more safety measures. If we're at a level where the safety is there, then the well shouldn't get affected. If the water well fallout is affected, then maybe some new safety measures need to be developed. But this makes it right for the individual homeowners. Hypothetically, those companies would have to pay the property tax to the local municipality too of the affected property in perpetuity, so that they don't, because a lot of these localities allow the drilling, but if something goes wrong, then their tax base is completely decimated, all the property value. So that's just my idea. Continuous water testing on wells in affected areas. Let's do this. Let's get it passed. The Clean Water Table Act. I'm going to write to my senator, and hopefully it gets picked up, and maybe there's already an act like that in process. But in the wake of East Palestine, let's use that momentum, the press coverage. It got worldwide. It was on Euronews. It was covered all over the world. Let's use it to do something good here that makes sense. Let's develop these tests and work on it. As you know, these companies are going to say that the tests aren't, accurate and things like that. It's going to be years and years and years of them denying that they were responsible for this. So let's develop the tests, get them working, and get them out there, and then look at what the litigation comes in for these companies defending themselves over damages. All right. Thanks for watching. Join me later today when I talk about microgrids, wired internet service to rural homes instead of broadband, and what we can do by working with the electric companies to develop this technology. Thanks for watching. Join me later.